Hello guys, it's me again, KillSwitch. So before the season 21 ends, better late than never, I'm going to show you guys my player versus environment and player versus player builds for season 21. For the general information in PVE and PvP. So let's start with the curse properties. Again, tortured as always, and if you have more curse properties, then go for 6 pieces tortured and 2 pieces nettled. But ancestral property is still better. So if you have this, prioritize it. For the ancestral property, so for player versus environment, it's better to use damage increase by 15% for 6 seconds. And for PvP, the stun. For the family bonus, this is more on player versus player. But I do not change it just for player versus environment. So this is the same for every legendary gear. Damage to enemies suffering loss of control, increase duration of beneficial effects increase, black chance increase, damage taken from nearby enemies decrease, and maximum life increase to activate the 2% chance when attacked to gain an absorption shield for 6 seconds. For the Paragon tree, it is the same on how you built it for player versus environment. So just maximize the main Paragon tree 100 out of 100, for example for outdoor area farming. And after you maximize this one, go to every Paragon tree to maximize damage first, and then go to armor penetration, and then potency, and then life, and then go to armor, and last resistance. Let's start with the open world farming. For the skills, Fist of Thunder, Shield of Zen, Cyclone Strike, Wave of Light, Mystic Allies. And for the Paragon, I'm using Treasure Hunter. For the green set, at least 2 pieces Isatar at rest and 4 pieces Grace of the Flagellant. If you can have 4 pieces Isatar, then it's better. For the legendary gears, Resurgency, Balance in Moderation, Sonorous Prayer, Companion's Melody, Shatter Spell, Twitching Palm, Calefaction, and Eye of the Storm. So basic rotation for this one, just summon your ally and then Shield of Zen, Cyclone, and Wave of Light, and just go to enemy. You do not even need to attack. Before I start with dungeon, raid, and defense, this is optimized for party setup and not the highest damage that you can deal here in the dummy. Because in my opinion, monks are semi-support and not a pure damage unlike Blood Knight, Demon Hunter, or even Wizard. For dungeon, Fist of Thunder, Inner Sanctuary, Shield of Zen, Wave of Light, Mystic Allies. For the Paragon, again, Treasure Hunter. For the green set, for dungeons, raids, defense, and challenge rift, it's better if you have 4 pieces Vitus and 4 pieces Grace, or you can even combo it with other set. I think the best one for these builds, because it's focusing mainly on summon, 6 pieces Shepherd plus 2 pieces Vitus. It's like a Necromonk. For the legendary gears, Roving Sanctuary, Ease and Clarity, Sonorous Prayer, Chastising Radiance, Calefaction, Twitching Palm, Shatter Spell, and Tramming Ferocity. Basic rotation, Inner Sanctuary, Shield of Zen, and then Summon, and then of course your Wave of Light. And then normal attack the enemy. For raid skills, Fist of Thunder, Inner Sanctuary, Wave of Light, Mystic Strike, and Mystic Allies. For the Paragon, Weaver. For the legendary gears, Roving Sanctuary, Falcon's Dive, Sonorous Prayer, Lingering Incense, Shatter Spell, Harsh Truth, Rod of Echoes, and Tramming Ferocity. Again, for the basic rotation, always use Inner Sanctuary first, and then Wave of Light, and then Summon. And then normal attack. So this is the burst damage. And just use Mystic Allies once you can use it. For defense of Cyrangar, for the skills, Deadly Reach, Inner Sanctuary, Wave of Light, Cyclone Strike, and Wave Strike. For the Paragon, Warden, or you can even use Survivor 3. For the set of this one, this is not a summon build anymore. It's better to use 4 pieces Grace of Flagellant and 4 pieces Vitus. For the legendary gears, Roving Sanctuary, Winter's Embrace, Sonorous Prayer, Chassising Radiance, Unshakable Weight, Rattling Arm, Peerless Conductor, and Charming Ferocity. For basic rotation, use Inner Sanctuary again for critical buff, Wave of Light, and then to ice a group of mobs, Second Strike, and for Wave Strike, another group of mobs to crowd control. For Challenge Reef, for the skills, Deadly Reach, Inner Sanctuary, Exploding Palm, Mystic Strike, and Mystic Allies. For the Paragon Weaver, for the green set, just use that can give you the highest combat rating. But again, it's better to use 6 pieces Shepherd and 2 pieces Vitus to maximize your summon damage. Again, summon build. For the legendary gears, Roving Sanctuary, Discipline Respite, Feline Defiance, Lingering Incense, Shatter Spell, Obstruction of Omniscience, Peerless Conductor, and Charming Ferocity. Basic rotation for this one, just use Inner Sanctuary, dash through enemies and group them up, and then summon. Once you summon, normal attack them, and as much as possible, do not get close. So currently, rank 1 in Inferno Challenge Reef with this build, but I believe I can still push it until 495. For player versus player, let's start with Crowd Control Gladiator and Crowd Control Warden. This is the same. The difference is only the Paragon 3. For the Paragon build, maximize Gladiator first, 100 out of 100, same as maximizing the Warden 3. And then go to every other 3 to maximize damage, and then life, and then armor penetration, and then potency, and then armor, and last resistance. So this is damage. Let's start with CC Glad. So I am using this in every player versus player mode except Battleground and Vault. For the skills, Fist of Thunder, Shield of Zen, Flying Kick, Inner Sanctuary, and 7-Sided Strike. For the green set, 4 pieces Bounty Bank and 4 pieces Gloom Guide's Price. For the legendary gears, Bell of Sorrow, Falcon's Dive, Unbound River, Tottering Tower, Pugilist Presence, Spokes of the Wheel, Intervening Law, and Respite Sigh. For the CC Warden, I am always using this in Battleground. For the basic rotation for these builds, so it's better to use Shield of Zen first, and then Flying Kick going in the battle, and then use your Inner Sanctuary immediately, Flying Kick again, trying to make the enemies stay inside this circle. And of course, 7-Sided Strike to get out or even finish all of the enemies off. Next will be Tank Gladiator and Tank Warden. It's almost the same, it's only different because of some essences and the Paragon 3. For the Paragon 3, for this one, again, maximize Gladiator first, 100 out of 100, same as maximizing Warden. And now, we will now prioritize life, and then go damage, and then armor, and then armor penetration, and then potency, and last resistance. If you want a pure tank build, then prioritize resistance first before going to armor penetration. For Tank Gladiator, I am using this in Vault. So you are very tanky with this build. But you need to have a DPS on your party. So if you do not have any DPS, then this build will not work well. For the skills, Deadly Reach, Shield of Zen, Mystic Strike, Inner Sanctuary, and Breath of Heaven. For the green set, 4 pieces Mountebank and 4 pieces Vitus Urges. For the legendary gears, Purity's Thought, Chimes at Midnight, Feline Defiance, Branding Band, Peerless Conductor, Respite Sigh, Arc of the Ascendance, and Reticent Wind. Next, Tank Warden. So I'm using this in Battleground if I am bored. So this is still better, CC Warden. Tank Warden, for the skills, Deadly Reach, Shield of Zen, Mystic Strike, Inner Sanctuary, and now we are replacing Breath of Heaven into 7-Sided Strike. Green set, the same, 4 pieces Mountebank, 4 pieces Vitus. Legendary gears, Purity's Thought, Chimes at Midnight, Feline Defiance, Branding Band. Now, we will use Tenebrous Grasp, Respite Sigh, Peerless Conductor, and Tramming Ferocity. Basic rotation for this one, especially in Vault. So in Vault, we have invisibility, so we need to go first before our DPS. So just Mystic Strike, and then Shield of Zen, and then Inner Sanctuary immediately for the 50% damage reduction, and then normal attack. Mystic Strike to have a speed boost, and of course heal if you need it. For the tank Warden, the same, but always use 7-sided strike because this is your buff. So for the normal attack. Alright, so that's it guys. This is for Season 21, Player versus Environment, and Player versus Player. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to comment that down below. Thank you for watching. Until next time.